All right, welcome back. So video 3, in this video, we're going to talk about sketching some of these things, okay? So let's start by sketching. F of xy equals 1 plus x squared plus y squared, okay? So my thinking, or my philosophy about sketching these, is I try to look for what's called a symmetry. Okay, basically, do one of these things kind of look like the other? And this goes back, it's very similar to, say, like if you think about this in terms of polar coordinates, this actually becomes much easier. Okay, so what I'm saying is, for example, this x squared plus y squared, that's r squared, right? If you think in terms of polar coordinates. Okay, so that's one of the things I want you to sort of think about. So if we look at this as sort of z equals 1 plus x squared plus y squared. I put a line through my z's, by the way. Just a good habit, because otherwise, how are you going to know your z's from your 2's? Okay, so z equals 1 plus x squared plus y squared. Let's start graphing this thing. Okay, in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this to be the x-axis, this to be the y-axis, this to be the z-axis. So now, if I look and I think, well, what if just x is equal to 0? You get 1 plus y squared. You know what that looks like. That's a parabola. So we get a parabola that looks like so. And since, sorry about that, since x and y are sort of the same, basically, they come in the same, then it doesn't distort anything. Okay? And then, so it's going to look the same all the way around. Okay, well, let me actually move it a little bit, and then it'll be almost perfect. There, that's better. That's better. Okay, so now, let's compare that with, say, one that's very similar. Let's take z equals 1 plus, let's say, 4x squared plus y squared. Okay, and that's almost the same sort of thing. Okay, it's just this 4 is going to either stretch it or compress it. Let's see. Okay, so let's take, for example, the point x and y equaling both 1. Then here, we're going to get z equals 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. Here, we're going to get z equals 1 plus 4 plus 1, 6. Okay, so what's that mean in terms of the graph? Let's see. Again, x, y, z. Again, it's going to look, let's say, like so. Okay, but now in the x coordinate, it's going to go up sharply much faster. Instead of going up to 3 at that point, 1, 1, 1, it's going to go up to 6. So it's going to, in some sense, it's going to, it's not exactly symmetric. It's going to sort of distort the shape a little bit. Let me leave it as it was. No. I don't like it, but Maybe that's better. I don't know, but basically you sort of get the idea, I hope, that it's going to sort of smush it upward in that direction, okay? All right, let's look at a couple other things to graph. Let's take a look at graphing z equals f of xy equals the square root of 4x squared plus y squared, okay? So let's again look at, for example, just z equals, let's say, y squared. Sorry. That z equals the absolute value of y, right? So okay, so in the zy plane, okay, we're going to have just the absolute value curve, which looks like so. Okay, but when you look at the zx plane, okay, when you look at z against x, it's going to be a little bit sharper, okay? It's hard to see, and it's hard to draw, okay? And that's why I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I do want you guys to see, because being able to draw these things, or at least have an idea of what they look like, is going to help you immensely in solving some of the problems, okay? But there's really not so much directly that I can ask you about drawing this, especially living in pandemic world, okay? All right, let's do one more. And this one we're going to do, actually, we're going to do it by a contour, okay? We're going to do what's called contour graphs. And the reason is because we're never going to be able to sketch it. So a fair question is, what the heck is a contour graph? A contour graph is also called a level curve, okay? And basically what that means is we're going to sketch it for different values of z. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's say z equals 0. So that's y over x squared plus y squared. Okay, well, here that just means we're going to have y equals 0, right? Okay, y equals 0 is the thing. You cannot have x equals 0, because if y equals 0 and x equals 0, you have 0 in the denominator. Okay, so let's go ahead and sketch that. Little open circle there at x equals 0 together with y equals 0. Actually make it with the highlighter here. That's y equals 0. I don't like that anymore. Let's go back to the pen. Okay. Okay, let's try z equals 1. And what do we get? So this is z equals 0. We're going to do it on the same graph. That's one of the point of level curves, is you do it on the same graph. Okay, so that's going to give us x squared plus y squared equals y. What kind of graph is that? That's right if you said it was a circle. Okay, x squared plus y squared minus y equals 0. X squared plus y, what is that? Minus 1/2 squared equals 1/4. Okay, so that's going to be a circle centered at 0, 1/2 of radius 1/2. Okay, so now I'm going to do z equals -1. So if you do that, you're going to get x squared plus y squared equals -y. So that's going to become the circle. Okay, I didn't do it, but it's the same process as what we did here. Okay, so here, remember, I complete the square with 1/4, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yada, yada. Okay, so it's going to be a circle centered at -1/2, or 0, -1/2 of radius 1/2. Okay, let's try z equals 2. What do you think is going to happen with z equals 2? I think so too. It's going to be a bigger circle. Okay, let's see. Let's check it out. So with z equals 2, okay, so we're going to get x squared plus y squared equals, oh no, I was wrong. It's actually going to be a smaller circle. Okay, x squared plus y squared equals 1/2 y. Okay, half of that is 1/4, so it's going to be x squared plus y minus 1/4 squared equals 1/16. So it's going to be a circle, let's say like so. Okay. Okay, so let's try a circle. Let's try a different z value. Let's try z equals 1/2. Oh, I just did the other side too, right? That's clear. You can see that, right? Let's try z equals 1/2 and see what happens. Okay, so that's going to give us x squared plus y squared equals 2y. X squared plus y squared minus 2y equals 0. Completing the square, adding 1 to both sides. Okay, so z equals 1/2 is going to be a bigger circle out here. Okay, so what's going to happen? This is going to be like, this looks like it's going to be like some sort of crazy cone structure. Okay, Well, we live actually in a more modern world than we did even, say, back in the Stone Age when I was doing this stuff. So let's actually see if we can graph this thing. All right, let's go to that. I can graph it on my tablet. Let's see. So graphing calculator. There we go. Okay. So let's graph Z equals Y. Hold on. Let's try 3D graphing. I guess this probably will do. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Z. Oh, I don't like this at all. There we go. Should have planned this better. Let's try this again. There we go. So let's take a look. This is basically what it looks like. Okay, you guys can play around with a graphing calculator. And you can see it's that sort of thing there. Oh, actually I have it wrong here. That's better. So see, that's on one side, it's going up like that. On the other side, it's going down. Okay. So based on our level curves, we're able to get a picture of what this thing looks like. And you could graph it as well and see. Okay. All right. I'll see you in the next video.